Welcome back, folks, to another episode of The Raven's Eye. My name is Hugh, and today I want to talk to you about my journey into paganism and how the gods called to me. Like many, I grew up in a Christian home, more specifically, Roman Catholic. As a child, I never truly felt at home while I was in the church, and always felt more at home when out in nature. I always believed that there were spirits in everything around me, the trees, plants, and all the animals. And I felt most connected to them when I was in a natural environment. And furthermore, I found it hard to believe that humans were the only ones with souls. I didn't feel like heaven was a place where I would want to go if I couldn't see the animals that I had previously loved. And in addition to that, when I was at church and the priest was talking about the church members who had passed, I would get worried about it and panicky about it because I wasn't happy with how I felt about the afterlife. And as time went on, my family started going to church less, and I started to read more about other religions. I was introduced into Wicca in elementary school through my sister, and instantly felt a connection with it. This led me to researching and learning more about many different religions, including Christianity. The more I learned about Christianity, the more I felt disconnected from it. When it came to paganism, the more I learned about the various forms, the more I found commonalities between them, and the more I felt it was right for me. I kept reading, kept researching. I read the same books and articles over and over again. And I did deeper dives into studies of magic and divination, and learned about tarot and the runes and started putting it into practice. And then eventually there were two major occurrences in my life that solidified for me my belief in the old gods. First happened roughly around the year 2016. I was just at my sister's house sitting outside, and I was reading about Odin and reading about the Dagda and a couple of other gods from various mythologies. And while I was thinking about some similarities between some of them, I happened to glance across the street, and there were 4 ravens sitting across from me and just staring at me. Now, since I live in Florida, and Florida is not part of the natural migratory pattern of ravens, they're not that common in this state. And while I was gazing at these birds is when I truly felt the presence of Odin come over me, and I knew at that moment that it was really the Norse mythology and that was calling to me, the Norse pantheon, and I dove into that even further. And then a couple years later, just actually a few weeks previous to this video being recorded, I had another instance. I was sitting outside, getting ready to go to bed. Sun was at home, and while it wasn't a cloudy night, there weren't really any stars out. And then I just got a restless feeling that came over me. When I stood up and started moving around, I glanced up at the sky and I started seeing stars, more stars than I've seen in a while. And I was overcome with just the presence of Odin and Loki, Thor, Frey, and all of the gods, and it was overcome by the spirits of the land around me. And at that moment, I fully 100% dedicated myself to my goal of sharing this journey on this path to seeking the old gods. And it was at this moment when I really knew that it was time for me to reach out and find other pagans that believed as I did. I finally understood what my religious friends had felt growing up. I finally understood what they had been describing about how they felt when they were in church. And I knew in that moment that the gods had awoken, that they were calling to me. So, in that moment, I renewed my dedication to the Norse pagan path, and I am taking my steps to learn as much as I can about the old ways and about the old gods. I do dream that one day we'll be able to open a hall where we can all join together in worshiping the old gods, a place where we can grow closer as a community and grow closer to our gods. If you like today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to make sure you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'm planning to upload at least one video a week for now, and you can find a link to my Instagram in the description below. Alright folks, until I see you all again, Skål.